ready. Race day. Qualifying day.
Yeah, qualifying day.
You could build that
Big class races.
now,
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, what's up?
Oh, hit him with the morning update.
So, we're out here Friday morning, teched in, letting all the index racers run. You know, Cece's whipping up some breakfast. Gosh, she's got like a 9-course meal over here for us coming along. Shout out to Cece.
Hey, watch it. She doesn't use a spatula. Hey,
Yeah, I know.
Give me a little chop.
She was working it with them chopsticks.
That's impressive.
That's how she cooks chicken.
And duly note, everybody,
Eat
we
soup,
are
all of
daylighting
it.
at Freedom Factory.
Yeah.
The Freedom Factory.
Gotcha.
U.S. streets, LDR.
So yeah, we're just basically waiting on all the index classes and waiting to go make our first pass. Did they say about when? About what time?
About 2, probably.
Don't know.
1, 2.
All right.
Second to last class to run. So.
All right, guys, here's the
Hold on,
deal.
wait.
There's a lot of cars here, a lot of fast cars. This ain't no puppy kicking no more. It's the big show, so we got to qualify. We got to get in the show.
You said 30 cars in the class?
Probably at least 30 cars, I think.
Yeah, I know.
You know, they're gonna pull 16, so I think a lot of people are gonna have new combos. So that's maybe to our advantage because I don't think they really have them tested out real well. We're running pretty much the same combo. So right now we're 27.70, depending on how much John eats. So maybe 27.80.
Actually, we're probably 27.65 considering what he's doing right now.
Oh yeah, in the morning. So you know, it's kind of it fluctuates depending on how it is. But with the new rule set, we could be 25.75, 200 pounds lighter. So you guys can imagine, you know, we're running some 415s, been faster. So 200 pounds out of that thing, I mean, shit, that puts us right in the mix. So hopefully with the new combo, we're gonna be doing some changes. We've got the CID intake. We're gonna be talking about that. We're gonna be changing it. We're gonna try to do all our time shots today. That way we can, you know, get some good numbers, get in the show, and then tomorrow we'll be changing the intake, trying it out, see what kind of gains we get from that. The weather is killer right now. The DA is like 400 foot. So grains of water are pretty low, so we got some really good weather. When we set the record, it was about 1,000 foot. So we're definitely low. At night, the DA is going to be negative DA. So like, we're in optimal conditions to go fast or blow something up.
And this is the track to do it at. You know, here or MIR, those are like the two lighting.
Yeah, no, yeah, yeah. So you can go there. DA is always good. So you get those guys that are flying up there, and it really makes a big difference. So excited. We went over the car, went through tech. Everything passed. So we're gonna be doing that. We are parked out in back 40. I mean, like,
we're actually at
Freedom
the
Factory. We are at the Freedom Factory. So you know, we're gonna do this. You know, race, go hang out at the Freedom Factory. Problem is, strategically, it's not the best place for us because we have to go to the scales every time. So you got to go exit the track. Some tracks have scales on both sides. Well, this one doesn't. So you got to exit the track. You got to go around to the scales. You know,
you have to literally drive around the entire property.
Yeah, no, yeah. So you're gonna go through the scales and then you gotta go all the way down where everybody's parked. And it is a madhouse down there. I mean, so when they're racing and people are coming out trying to get, you know, they're doing their qualifying, you know, it's gonna be a big problem because what happens is if we gotta work on the car, where normally we just get right back to the pits and work on it, you know, it could take us 30, 45 minutes to get back here to work on it. So that could be, you know, if we don't have to do that, we're good. But if it gets to a time crunch, you know, we can't cool the car down as fast.
We'll just move our whole program to the station.
Yeah, like we might be doing that. Like, you know, might get into something like that. Or we try to turn around up there and then come back this way. I don't know.
Say maybe try to 3-point turn after the scales.
Or just back up, you know, just toss it in reverse. And
Yeah,
put it in reverse, Terry.
It's going to be crazy trying to get through this, the pits.
Yeah, so we're good, but got CC on the grill. She's cooking us breakfast. I mean, we got our LS Nasty bodyguard.
We got Kalani.
Yeah, we got our general manager, Logan Paul.
Oh, there he is. There he is. With the sign language, John.
Signs or sign language or what? I don't know what that was. I feel like he was kneading dough.
I think he was asking Matt if he had both hands.
So, we're gonna get him good rested up. You know, we're gonna be cutting some good lights this time. So we're gonna try to cut his light in half from last time.
Best part is you can't really respond either.
No, he can't.
You
He's like, I'm sure he's got some sign language he wants to use right now. We're gonna call us here in a little bit. We're gonna get some food and get everything set up. Go over the car one more time. We changed the wastegate. Hopefully that don't give us no problems. Hopefully it improves. You know, always got to make changes to to improve. So we got the old one. We're gonna switch it if we don't have the desired results. But I think it'll work out good. So we're gonna go over the car one more time, put it back together, and try to qualify. Whew.
Nice shirt. John rocking the wanted shirt.
How long can I go in this video without talking?
You just throw up signs. Just be like, yeah.
Not gonna. So we're out here. It's hot as hell at this point.
I said, hot. This is not hot for Florida.
It's a little warm right now. It's gonna cool off tonight. It's gonna be nice. First round.
Where is Matt? Matt's in the smart car. Hi.
Here at John Dock, we are learning sign language because John can't speak anymore. Some would say it's a bad thing.
I was gonna say it's got to be an occupational hazard. We'll see in the comment. Do you guys prefer John not talking in the videos? Comment below.
Yeah. Hopefully he's not in the car like it's making a weird noise. So got very similar tune up to when we were back out with 15. Knocked a little bit off on the starting line, just try to get pull off. I don't know what the track's gonna be like. You know, I checked it earlier, but there's a lot of cars going down, so checking it earlier from when we get up there is going to be totally different. So we're just kind of get up there and see what it's like. Feel pretty good. The weather is good, but tomorrow is supposed to be really windy, and if they got really high winds, they're not going to let nobody run. So these might be our time shots. So we got to really make sure that we get some good runs, because there's going to be some guys that are going to have some boring runs and something's going to happen and everything. So even if we don't go out there and set our personal best or set the world on fire, if we can just go out there and go A to B, get some good fast runs, that will help get us in the show. Because like I said, you're going to get these guys, you're going to go out there, they're going to hit the tires, and something's going to happen. So hopefully that's not the case. You know, we're having to go after a lot harder than some of these guys. You know, everybody's got a little bit different strategy. We don't have the power to really run out the back like some of them, so that's makes it a little bit more difficult for us. You know, these other guys are making, you know, 3,500 horsepower. They can just like lazy 60 foot and just start pulling the coals to it. We don't really do it. I think a little 98 is huffing. But I feel good. We're gonna go out there. If the track's kind of what it has been, I think I'll be happy with about to pull forward. So up here and see what happens.
Really swift coming up McFarland side.
Yeah. Yeah, very good. flush hoops too.
Yep. All good?
Prayer before you go, bud? Yes, sir.
Your first name again?
John.
John. Lord God, we thank you for your love. We thank you for John. We pray that you would be with him, to guide him, and keep him safe to this day. We pray in Jesus' name.
Make sure someone pulls the power.
Big LDR, guys.
Hey, don't make a damn lick.
Yep.
26
All the way out there. Dominance.
Certainly saw our fair share of struggles in some of the other categories, but the LDR competitors maybe having the benefit of watching several of those classes ahead of them seem to have come out with some pretty functional tune-ups to work with here. And there's been a guy that
John Dock goes 4:12.9 at 176.03. very, very nice run there for Doc. Moves him into that number 2 position. 4:12.9, and the speed is there as well at 176.03. Actually moves into number 3, a thou behind Gargas. So you go 4:10.8 for Martin, 4:12.8, and then 4:12.9 for John Doc. Very nice runs.
I don't know if I read it right or not, but I think I just went a 412 out the box. Bro, let's go! Holy shit! Oh my god! Oh my god, are you kidding me? Where did I qualify?
It'll be interesting to do like the same exact tune-up, you know what I mean? So if there's a change.
Alright, so we're about to make an intake change. We have a, Matt's going to give you guys all the specs on what we got going intake-wise. CID 4.0 2-piece LS7 intake, CID 5.0 1-piece CNC lightened LS7 intake. So it's actually a whole lot lighter. You would not believe how much the CNC lightning makes it that much lighter. Same fuel rails, dash 12 fuel rails, same fuel rail setup. So we're going to leave those fuel rails and injectors together in there, and then just put this intake on there. But right now I'm just going to get the fuel rails off and everything, and then Matt's going to come out here and talk to you guys on the different options with the CID intakes.
First qualifying pass?
First qualifying pass, 412, new hydraulic roller LS record, 412, 176. You know what you guys are saying? Why isn't it going faster mile an hour? Went 103 60 foot. When you go faster in the 60 foot, it's going to drop your mile an hour. When you go shitty in the 60 foot, you're going to have a higher mile an hour. So to go a fast mile an hour like that with a fast 60 foot, sucker was getting it. It was getting it. So we went 274 to the middle, 103 60 foot, 412 at 176 miles an hour. Absolutely fine. 200 pounds overweight.
What, 2740? What?
2740. We're supposed to weigh
2550.
Yeah.
So.
Shoot ya. Fourth, what, qualified fourth?
Yeah,
currently?
qualified fourth in LDR, dude. Big LDR guys.
A lot of heavy hitters from LDR out here too. A lot of fast guys that go threes.
And then there's just us, just chilling.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to sidebar you, but they might want to know.
We need to insert BJ's clip also. It's going to be tough to see if it shows a gain, because if we're having converter issues and stuff like that, there's a lot of factors that go into showing like an ET gain, but we know just cylinder distribution wise, this will definitely make more power.
100% this one, shinier.
Oh yeah.
Shinier.
Way shinier.
Big shinier.
If we're going just off of appearance, the CNC light and stuff, big CNC light and intake guy.
Would it? Would it? See, now y'all are hearing the real Marcus.
Yep. I always tighten first to gauge how tight they are.
Don't know how many V-bands we have, so.
A lot of good cars making their way around the corner.
Never had good luck with V-bands around Bryce.
Denver and Spina locked in.
I expected to be on there way harder than that. That sucker came right off.
My heart.
That thing came right off.
We're all good. I knew it was going to take some pressure to get it, but...
It should have taken more than that, don't you think?
God.
final power for Bartholomew is Rad.
You gotta take make sure they go back.
6.5 at 88.38.
Are you going to keep the same fuel load?
Yes. We're just swapping the intake.
Wes Urban and Kayla Hubbard coming up right now. Hubbard drives Monty Garlow in orange. Second time we've seen Kayla today.
That was above my pay grade.
So there is some advantages to this intake that we didn't talk about the other day.
It's shinier.
No. I guess that is one of the advantages. It is CNC light. That is an option that they offer. Well, I mean, everybody knows the CID intake by now. There's a few different things. So you have the 4.0, 4.5, and then the 5.0. The difference between those is the cross-sectional area of the runner. So like if you looked at the runner and made it a box, the 4.0, 5.0, or 4.0, 4.5, and 5.0, as it would go up numbers, this cross-sectional area will get larger. The larger cross-sectional area is good for like some of your real badass LSL 7-cylinder heads. Right now we got 4.0. These heads aren't some really massive like badass heads, so this one is pretty well matched to this, but we will probably also see some gains. We would see more gains if we were solid roller. We're still hydraulic roller, so this intake is really going to shine, especially the 5.0 is really going to shine above 7,000 RPM. And larger cubic inch engine, so you get into like your big nitrous guys, your big turbo guys, you know, they're like mid 400. The 4.0 is good for, you know, some people might say that looks like a big ass intake. It's really, it's big, but it functions very well. You're gonna have good port velocity with this intake with a smaller cube engine, so like you 360 inch guys, like you can all run it. You don't have to have a 427 to run a 4.0 intake. You will see gains on even the smaller combos. So they offer a lot of different options. You can do a 16 injector intake. You can do
this one's set up with a provision for the 16 injector.
Yep, 16 injector, so they'd add a secondary rail. So they'd just be machined. There's some other stuff they offer. You can do 4150, 4500, and then also 6500 and some other larger ones. So
but don't start cutting this shit up.
Get into that.
That's my warning. That's my contribution.
There's a lot more to that than just don't cut it up.
Just don't do it, but Matt will tell you why.
So they offer a lot of other options for the inlet. So your 4150, the 4150 is not going to be like a 4150. It's like a cheater style carb intake. So if you're in a class that says, hey, you got to have a 4150 inlet, that's going to be your intake for that. But unless you guys are going to be running 4500, you've probably seen some where they machine this and they add an oval-ish inlet, and don't do that. This intake was designed through CFD modeling to be most efficient on getting air to the front runners here and the rear runners and all the pockets as it comes in. So when you start shortening this intake, you really screw that up. So if you look at the CFD modeling, when you have this and the elbow like this, like not a really sharp elbow, like you get some of the elbows like, I don't want to name any names or call anybody out, but they're very sharp bends like this. That really screws up your airflow to your front cylinders right here. When you cut this down shorter, really screws up the airflow. Like if you look at the CFD modeling, it's terrible compared to this. So this intake is out of the box is going to be what you want to run. If anything, run a spacer on it, like the T-Cam burst panel we have. Anytime you raise your elbow, you're going to be straightening your air that goes into the intake, the plenum. Anytime you shorten it, you're going to be really screwing up your air that comes inside. So don't be cutting, don't be hacking. Initially they tried a lot of different models of this intake. They widened it, they narrowed it, they made it shorter, they made it taller, everything. And this intake right here, the way you see it now, is the best flowing intake to get distribution and velocity to your runners. So sure, you might have more velocity with the other ones, but you're gonna have poor cylinder distribution. We're gonna have to
try on it. Well, we thought so. That the elbow did not get Marcus over here. Marcus will pull up on that thing one time. It'll be good.
All right, get this out of the way.
Done.
I was actually gonna try just to pry it into the valve cover.
She's ready, Bo. How about that?
Mazel tov.
Magic trick.
Look at that. Set them side by side. Let's take a look at them. Would you look at it?
would you just look at it?
Dude, the CNC Lightning makes them look a whole lot different.
Wow.
Is it that much different?
Oh yeah, pick it up.
Wow, that is substantial. That's a big difference. I'm surprised by how much of a difference that is.
Yeah, so you're gonna be a lot wider going into the initial port out of the plenum than the other ones. Let's take a razor, scrape all that down.
Oh, you can really see the difference like here into those front runners.
Yeah, how much more air. So like front runner and rear runner cylinder distribution. Usually with anything with the elbow, you don't really have rear runner problems. It's always the front runners because the thing's having to come up and turn. So all your airspeed and velocity is going to be to the rear. So getting to the rear is good, but getting to the front is not going to be so good. So
that looks pretty good.
They offer in 1-piece and 2-piece manifolds. So you guys that are really big into cylinder head and intake manifold porting, the 2-piece is the way to go. I mean, you unbolt it and you can get to everything. It's saves a lot of time doing that.
We were running this one unported though. This is just straight out, literally straight out the box.
Yeah, straight out of the box. And this one is also straight out of the box, straight as cast. But the casting on these are phenomenal. Like I've seen the cylinder heads, the castings. I mean, the castings are very, very good. So you shouldn't have no issues there. If this thing don't go out and go faster, don't be like, this intake ain't gonna make no more power. We're going fast is a lot more about the engine making power. It's about the chassis working, the transmission, the converter, and right now we are on the ragged edge of the converter. The converter slips high, it doesn't couple hard. We're gonna try to do some stuff to try to help alleviate that, but it's not just like, hey, I'll go out and make 4,000 horsepower. It's, hey, you gotta be able to.
I don't know, this is our red spring.
No, it didn't. No, it's a good one, but it needs to be better. It needs to be a little bit tighter because the converter numbers that I'm seeing, looking at the RPM and the data versus the wheel speed is definitely indicating that we're on the edge of what the converter is capable of coupling. So it's just like a clutch. Your clutch starts to slip, you make another 300 horsepower, it ain't going to help the clutch out at all. It's it can only couple so much power. So there's a lot that goes into just going fast. It's not just about the motor, and a lot of it goes into it. And that's what makes a really fast combo and program, is when everything works together. When the team works together, when the car works together, that's when you go really fast. But I feel pretty good. I don't know where we are standing at in qualifying right now.
7.3.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. We're 200 pounds over. Not 200 pounds out of that 12. That's a low O pass. We're right in the mix. So that's small block single. I mean, that's 98. Come on, this speaks volumes for the whole thing. The M&M transmission, forced inductions turbo, QA1 getting us the goods to go fast with that. Billet atomizer injectors, HOLLEY. I love a HOLLEY. TKM performance, obviously.
Black Sheep stage 300.
Yes, they're stage 3. You just call them up and be like, hey, I want to go 390s because I got a 2,500 pound car, and they'd be like, yeah, no problem, we got you. Reliability wise, I see people go out and they got billet motors that are put together and they get like 20 passes out of them and they're like, yep. So, and honestly, if we went out tomorrow and hurt this thing or this next pass, I don't know if I could really be mad at it, because this thing's got some runs. 200. Those rods are yeah, everybody's like, oh, you can't run aluminum rods. It's a good testament. So
walls, it's not.
We're not going to change anything specifically for the
It's not
intake.
fun. You have to go to the walls.
We're going to go up higher.
This thing's cool. My biggest problem is like,
and the weight higher
it's started on cold right now because they just have retakes. My motor's walking.
No, I'm saying, what do you think?
Trying to go real fast. Individual EGTs, I'm going to highly recommend them. And it's not just a tuning aspect. It's a, hey, look at it and tell something's wrong with the motor. Like, you can go exactly straight to the cylinder. You can look at it past the pass and go, hey, why is this one getting colder? You might have a injector going out. There's just so many things that you can gain besides just tuning, and also tuning. This one's pretty tight. It's within 50 degrees, so it's pretty dialed in. But I'm curious to see after this intake swap if it's going to be one of those things where we can just remove any of individual cylinder tuning we've been doing. We're going to change the shift RPM a little bit to try to make the converter a little bit happier, keep the G hung out there a little bit longer. We get maybe a little bit of gain from the weight. Definitely a lot lighter intake, so we'll know that when we go across the scales. We know what our exact weight was last time, so just long. Well, wait, John just got done with lunch, so we might just kind of
27.40 before lunch.
27.40 before lunch. So I'm excited. Looks awesome. Definitely got the bling.
Spilled a bunch of methanol everywhere, so we're gonna push it back, make sure there's no meth, roll it back forward, fire it up, do a TPS relearn, just double check, make sure everything's good.
Yeah, we'll get him to whack it a few times on the thing, do some throttle whacks and see how, make sure it's good. It shouldn't, you can unplug your TPS, just as long as you don't load a new global file in completely. You shouldn't have any issues with your TPS relearn, but everything looks good. We didn't really change anything, same rails, so we didn't change anything there. I think it looks sick.
BJ, what's the weather report?
Down. Ham, a fucking sandwich.
Let's go, Ryan!
I think the mirror.
Got your shoe leg.
Let me tell you something.
So we've had a couple of droplets at the starting line area. That's why I run a three-fold here.
You got a racing program, you don't have a car cover, buy one, because we've been up there in the staging lanes, and you're over there with $1 million race teams, and they're like holding pieces of cardboard over it. Some next level shit. Do it. It sounds so beautiful, it makes me cry.
Tears. It's so fucking rich. It's not rich. It's not. It's not? It's not? It's just
That's what that sound was. That
it don't want. It hangs at like 4% throttle.
Yeah, it needs more return spring on it. That's what happened after your burnout. Like the. Oh, you remember that thing?